Are you feeling like you're struggling with your squats or deadlifts no matter what you do for your hips? Well, have you ever considered what's happening in your upper body? Come join me today to explore using overcoming isometrics and fascial connections with the upper body to help improve what's happening in our hips. Sometimes our body needs a little bit of active support and tension in one area to help get other areas to let go. You can use overcoming isometrics where you're trying to move an immovable object to help with this. First, we're going to start off exploring using our scapular retractors to help open up our glutes in a hip hinge position. This can be particularly helpful for those with a dropped chest and a tucked pelvis, as the two tend to go hand in hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a towel or a strap or a really heavy resistance band that you can't really move too much, and we're going to put it underneath a foot in a split stance hinge. So I'm going to put it underneath my front foot here. My front knee is soft, my hips are square to the front and level, and I'm going to sit back into my hips as much as I can to start. Then when I get that position that I feel that I want to start to tuck or do something else creative instead of just getting that length through my glutes, I'm going to pull on the straps here to think about pulling my chest down and my shoulder blades back onto my rib cage. I'm going to resist that with my legs so I can't actually get pulled down further. And what it should feel like as you hold this position for about 15 or 30 seconds is your pelvis should feel like it opens up, maybe that tailbone kind of lifting up a little bit, the sit bones widening to help get more length and action going on in the glutes and proximal hamstrings. You're going to hold this position for about 15 to 30 seconds. Thinking about inhaling into your chest wall, armpits, back between sit bones. Exhale. Maybe give yourself a little bit more of a pull while you're resisting with the lower leg, really stomping this right leg into the ground to help me not get pulled down into it further. Now, we can do it there like we did with double arms, or we can experiment with adding a little bit of a rotation. So what I can do here is I can put the strap underneath my right foot here, this front foot. I'm going to grab it just in my left hand. So with this, it can help me kind of pull myself towards the right a little bit more. That can help me sit back into that right glute a little bit more. So that can be helpful if you notice that your hips are kind of turning as you're going to do the hinge, and to help kind of steer you into that better direction of those hips sitting straight back to the wall behind you. Next, we're going to explore our serratus and oblique connection to help close the ribs in the front, support our core, and then push our ribs and hips back and down. This can be particularly helpful for those with a flared rib cage or more compression in the backside of their rib cage here. It can also be helpful for those with a dropped chest, because as we go to push into the wall here, we're not only going to think about pushing forward, but pushing up and away to help get that scapular upper rotation and lift in that chest area. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a wall. You can also use a doorknob or a heavy loaded squat rack as the immovable object. Sometimes the wall can be a little tricky because it's hard to get a little bit of traction, but this is what we have here. So I'm going to have feet hip width apart. Hands are going to be on the wall, and I'm going to sit down into my squat as much as feels comfortable, thinking about those glutes lengthening, knees are coming forward, my feet are really grounded. When I get to the area of level of resistance, I'm going to now think about trying to push my hands forward and away, but because the wall's not going to move, that's going to help shift my ribs back, close them in the front, and then help me sit down into my hips. At the same time, I'm not just collapsing down, so I'm creating some of that resistance and tension in my hips as I hold here, inhaling into my back, side, and hips. Exhaling, feeling those hip bones, abs, and ribs wrap around towards each other as I maybe sit down a tiny bit more. In the end, we're trying to teach ourselves how to get that length to get things to let go, but also keep a little bit of tension instead of just falling through the movement. So these ideas of creating some stiffness in a lengthened position can help give your body more stability in that lengthened position versus an all or nothing type of contraction. These are both great prep moves to do before dynamically loading in the movement. Give them a shot and see if you feel improved freedom and control afterwards. If one helped, it could indicate that doing more upper body work in that pattern could be beneficial to add to your programming to help give your pelvis and hips more support. Did you find this video useful? Make sure to like it and leave a comment to let us know. Don't forget to check out some of our other helpful YouTube videos and let us know if you have any questions. Want even more? We also have continuing education courses for fitness and movement professionals that you don't want to miss. Check out the description below for more details.